Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video, making yourself a party. I am Denise. It is Monday, and Monday now on this channel is my weekly weigh-in and the Weight Watchers weekly meeting topic for the week. I do get weighed in on Saturdays. I just bring it to you on Monday. How was your week, D? Well, I've had really good weeks. This week, I'm going to tell you something. I gained. Now, it's not the app's fault. It's my fault. I was very haphazard tracking this week. You know, my leader used to say, only track on the days you want to lose. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's just Timmy being home or just busy. I just did not track like I should. My matcha. And that's part of it. Part of it was I might have indulged more than I probably should have. Yeah, probably. So that doesn't help. So yes, I'm up 1.4 or 6. I think it was 1.6. I think it was 1.6. We're gonna say 1. I think it was 1.6. I don't think it was 1. It was like 1.6. I'm up 1.6. Not shocked. Number one, that. Number two, you know, we had all the Easter trimmings all week. Could that have led to it? It could have. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. But also, the tracking and the slight indulging that I did. But I'm okay with it because I said to myself before, I'm like, you do realize, Denise, you don't know, you haven't tracked this. You haven't tracked that. I mean, I would track, probably because I didn't record much. Therein lies the problem. If I recorded more, I would have tracked better. Because I tracked to show you guys. So yeah, being completely 100% transparent here, wasn't the best stellar week for me, and it shows. I'm okay with it because I earned it. I wouldn't be okay with it if I was stellar and I'd be like a little bit ticked, but I earned it, and I could see it. I could just see it everywhere. I could see it. Yeah. You know what? Dust ourselves off. New week, new set of points. Child's back at school. We move on. But you know what? In life, sometimes you have weeks like that. You know, I look at it as I'm not perfect. Not every week's going to be a loss, and every week's going to be stellar. You're going to have those weeks where you just overly indulge. It's always sad when you overly indulge more than once in the same week, though. So I'm okay with it. I'm back on the train, back to Trackville. So often said, people complain about tracking, but I know for me, if I don't track, this is what would happen. Because I always assume it's not that bad. It's, you got to stay within your parameters. So let's get to the week. And Timmy did not get weighed. He will not get weighed till Friday. That ought to be interesting. But we digress. Let's go to the weekly meeting topic. Going out to eat. Try these tips. Stay on track tips. All right, Beth Jane. Someone else is finally doing the cooking, but you still want it on a different kind of meal prep. Allow us to explain. If you can map out moves and make decisions ahead of time, save over weeklies, roll over points leading up to a meal for more flexibility. Look at the menu or ask your host to pre-track your meal before you go. Going into a friend's, offer to bring a low point dish. Eat a low point snack before leaving home to help you stick on plan. That one is huge. I am telling you, do not starve yourself because that never works. It never ends well because by the time you get to the food, you don't care. Been there, done that way too many times. Don't do it anymore. Nope. Not doing it because you go there with hunger outweighs common sense. It does. If you have to make the on-the-spot decisions, start with a brothy soup or salad or choose a 0-point food as a main to make room for drinks and dessert. Yeah, this plan with Weight Watchers gives you shrimp, fish, chicken breast, turkey breast for 0 points. That's a great way to start a meal because in that sense, I don't want to say it doesn't matter how it's cooked, I mean, as long as it's not deep fried. But you're going to pay for wine and butter. You can afford to when you have a 0 point protein in there. You can afford for a little bit of indulgence when you have a 0 point protein. Now, and nothing wrong with a good steak, especially when you're in a steak place. A good lean piece of beef is always a good option. But yeah, the frothy soups versus a cream soup is great. I always get a half salad, dressing on the side, DDP, that's dip don't pour. So yeah, definitely. And I tend to go for more the vinaigrette dressings rather than the Thousand Island, the blue cheese, the ranch. I just figure it's just a little bit easier to figure out. 0 and low point code words like grilled. Split an entree with a friend. Take half of it home or order an appetizer as your main. That's also great too. Some places have really good appetizers, but don't order this mini appetizer and expect yourself to feel satisfied, because that never worked for nobody either. I always like to take some of it home, especially if you're going to have dessert. Now, if you're not, then don't worry about it. Like I said, if you're starting with a 0 point protein like chicken and fish, you could throw those accoutrements. Sometimes you could double veg it. Say, oh, I don't want the pasta, give me 2 vegetables. And they usually are very accommodating. Or a nice good old baked potato. Get the stuff on the side so you can control the butter and the sour cream on there. You can just put a little bit. So that's always an option too. I tend to go for a potato out rather than a pasta. That's just me. Even if it's a roasted potato, I don't usually go for French fries. I'm just not a huge French fry. It depends on the place. Some people have better fries than others. Denise does not like steak fries. I don't. I do not care for steak fries. Now, if we're at McDonald's, I haven't been to McDonald's in a really long time, but they do have the best fries because they're thin and they're crispy. If this place has thin and crispy fries, then yeah, you better believe I'm probably getting those. I'm not going to eat all of them, but I have somebody I could throw them on their plate most of the time. But sometimes I just stick them over to the side, or if you feel the need to ask for a box early and just put it away and say, I just want to make sure I save room for dessert. So, because if you sit there and say, oh, I'm on a Weight Watchers and I don't eat it all, looking like you're crazy. If you're looking for the next thing, they will be more and more accommodating to you. Use an appetizer plate at the buffet to help keep portions in check. That never works out for me either, because I am the queen of piling it high on a plate. I've mastered the art of putting things up high. So sometimes we go into that with good intentions, but we pile it on. And we said, well, the plate's smaller, but if you pile it this high, and it can be done, it defeats the purpose of a small plate. I'm trying to be when you have a plate, you can see space. It's normal to see space. You try to keep that in mind. Or if you're at a place that has a salad bar, grab the vegetables that are on the salad bar. There's usually always cucumbers and tomatoes and beets. I know a lot of people don't like beets. I do. So I have carrots, and there's usually hard-boiled eggs. So I tend to put that on my salad, radishes, carrots, anything that's vegetable-wise. Sometimes they have bell peppers. I do. I threw them on the salad. Sometimes you'll get something like peas. I think it was, so Ruby Tuesday used to put peas out in their salad bar. Well, to me, it's the croutons that gets me. Ruby Tuesday had the best croutons. They were so good. It was that pumpernickel bread. And don't go away with not having none. Have a couple of croutons. Sometimes I put sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds on top. But I do try to get, again, sometimes they'll have a low-cal dressing. Depends. Now, if they don't have a dressing I don't like, then I would just have to get one that I do like and just try to use less. But it's hard. Like I said, pre-planning is key, and knowing where you're going and planning your day around that. And that's always a good help. Knowing you could have a 1 or 2 point breakfast and have a salad for lunch. Do not skip lunch. So then you'll go out there, with more points and more confidence. Make a backup plan. Almost out of points in weeklies too. Try this. Even order your entree before you order your entree. Step 1, remind yourself it's okay to eat more than intended, but totally don't give up. Exactly. Realize that I can go over my points a little bit, and I'm not going to, it's not going to be the end of the world. I know sometimes we get so hard on ourselves. Like a lot of people who like the blue dot get very on, edge if they go over. But you have to realize that sometimes it happens. As long as it's not every day and all the time, you're fine. Decide about how many extra points you're willing to spend and order accordingly. So if you're struggling with a 0 point option, like fish, I mean, you have so many things you could spend points on, like the butter and the wine, and like maybe you'll get the little bit higher point. Maybe you'll order the dessert. In some places you can get it grilled and they probably didn't use any butter or oil. You could say dry grill it, and some places will do that as well. So it all depends. Like, I need a little bit of something on my something, just a little bit. Step 3, when you get home, track the meal and plan how pre-check what low point foods you'll eat the next day. Don't let that meal say, well, I've messed up, so I'll just eat, it's Friday, I'll just eat the weekend and start over on Monday. One meal does not mess you up. Several meals, yeah. So don't beat yourself up when it happens. Because let me tell you something, you're going to get invited out and you should absolutely go. Don't go because you're on a weight loss journey. You just have to order smart. And that's what we teach you, what Weight Watchers teaches you, order smart. Order things, like I said, sometimes I double veg. I know the bread basket gets us a lot too. If you have to have it, then you're ordering a 0 point protein. So you could afford to have a piece of bread. Don't go by having 4 and 5 pieces of bread. And sometimes what I like to do is I put the bread there and I just kind of pick at it. I don't like, back in the day, bread would come, I would just start eating it, and then I'd have another piece and another piece and another piece. Save it there on your little bread plate and let you're going to have it and you'll look forward to having that piece of bread. What's your favorite way to have that bread? To me, your girl likes to have bread with her salad. Just me. Now, if I was ordering pasta, I'd save that bread for my pasta. Because sometimes when I'm out, I just said I don't always, but pasta is my entree. Like, there are times you go to an Italian place and I love gnocchi. Your girl loves her gnocchi. Those little pillowy deliciousness of goodness. So I will save that bread to have with my gnocchi. And I try like the dickens not to eat the whole plate of them because they're so light and billowy. And the thought of it right now just makes my mouth water. And I like to get it in a nice tomato marinara. Nothing, they do, some places have them in like creamy. There's this one place we go to that has it in like a blue cheese sauce. It's so good. I have indulged, but not often. And I do ask for a box as soon as it comes because let me tell you something. When you're chit-chatting and eating, all of a sudden those gnocchis are gone. They are. So I try to put them away and save them, or I give them to Steve. Once they're on his plate, I don't want them anymore, which is a good thing. But definitely don't beat yourself up when you go over your points. And honestly, we have weeklies. Make sure you're not, if you're getting upset, you have weeklies in the bank. There's no reason to get upset. You need to use those points for special occasions, whether it be meal out, whether it be having an adult beverage. If you have to figure a glass of wine into dinner, and it's nice to have a nice glass of wine. There's no reason we shouldn't. Just because we're on a weight loss journey doesn't mean we give up everything. Well, I don't drink wine anymore. I mean, for me, I don't drink it as often as I used to, but there are times where wine is a necessity. We're getting ready for Cinco de Mayo next month, so there's going to be some sangria in my future. Back in the day, your girl could put away a lot of sangria. I could. Now I try to stick to 2 glasses. I figure if I could do 2 glasses, I'm good. And that's what I try to do. I'm not going to have a half a pitcher anymore. I have been known. Not going to get a buzz anymore, because I used to. We could talk about that, Denise, but it's tradition. And just because you're on a weight loss journey doesn't mean tradition has to change. Has to stop. It has to change. It doesn't have to stop. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, you could try to find lighter ways to making it. Maybe if you make your own sangria, you could use like the low sugar juices with the wine, and that'll cut back on points and calories. There's nothing wrong with that. You're still indulging in a little adult beverage. Don't beat yourself up for having to have it the regular way. I always say try new things. You might like the difference. I think last week's was on hacks. How do we hack an alcoholic beverage? Sometimes it's wine spritzers. Put your wine in with seltzer so your wine goes out a long time. It lasts longer because you're not having a full glass. You're having half a glass, then half a glass in a spritzer. It lasts longer. I was in a collab many years ago, how to lighten up adult beverages. I wonder if I could find that video. We're talking back, like one of my very first videos, going back to 2019. Yeah, hot mess. Well, not that I'm not more of a hot mess, but really bad. Bad. At least now I can figure out camera angles. Back then it was just, the camera never went the right way. But yeah. But I actually think I can find that. It was a collab with several people, and it was making adult beverages lightened up. And I think I found a cranberry juice. And I made like some kind of some kind of teeny drink. And I was able to get a pitcher, like a small pitcher with it. Because you just had to pay for the shot of booze, and the juice was really pretty good. I have to think I can find that video. But, you know, there's just, you have to be smart about it. You have to take the time. See, there's the thing. We have to do the work. If you want to have the adult cocktails, if you want to have all these meals out, what do? You don't sit there and ask all the people, I'm going to Olive Garden, what's low on points? No, you go on Olive Garden, you look up and you see what they have for what points you have left or what you're willing to spend. It's always the people that ask are never the ones that are successful. It's the ones that do the work, research it, plan their day around it, are the ones that are reaching their goals. So that's what I want to impart to you. Do the work, look it up, figure it out, and you will be successful. Because this is going to happen to you more than now. It's going to keep happening. You're going to be going out. And you should be going out. You shouldn't be having food at home all the time. You should be going out and you should be enjoying life. Life is not meant to be sitting at home all the time. We are social butterflies. We should be out socializing. And finding ways around is what we have to do. It's hacking. How can I get this for the least amount of points and calories? How can I finagle this? It's work. Yeah. But it's worth it in the end when you're sitting there enjoying what you're eating and drinking. Let's dive deeper. Ever have a day where every single thing played out exactly as you imagined? If only. Yet we still think and plan ahead because that's how we make sure things go as smoothly as possible. The same is true when it comes to eating away from home, like a friend's birthday dinner or vacation, or when you just don't have time or energy to cook. Planning ahead for how to handle these kinds of disruptions to your usual eating routine, whether they're scheduled or not, helps you keep on track. Sometimes you don't feel like cooking. You could say, I had this planned. I don't feel like it. Many times you've heard me say, I don't know what I feel like. Have become that type of person. I eat what I feel like. And around here, they don't even care because they're boys and they'll eat whatever I put on the table. But there's some days I just don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. So what could I have in my arsenal here that I could put together a really healthy, delicious meal? We have frozen vegetables. We have all different kinds of grains, whether it be quinoa, rice, pasta, potatoes. Potatoes are one of those ones because they're hard to keep around fresh. But there's usually potatoes around somewhere. There's always a pasta, different types of pasta. You could have ones that are lower in points than others. We have frozen vegetables, canned vegetables if you don't always have fresh. Sometimes you just don't have it. There's nothing wrong with a frozen vegetable. I got a bag at Sam's of peppers and onions because I've been obsessing with peppers and onions lately. So now, every time I want peppers and onions, I don't have to worry about having them. I have them in the freezer. Having broccoli, what was that called? Normandy medley. You always have broccoli and cauliflower around. And I think there's carrots in there too. So you can't say I don't have things around. I had to call for the pizza. And you can make your own pizza. Make a 2-ingredient dough pizza. Make one of my cottage flatbreads, fry breads. I call them different things all the time. That is a fantastic pizza. Does it require a little bit of work? It does. But if you could pre-make them and keep them in the freezer if you wanted, and you pull one out, you can make a flatbread. You can grab one of the Torias or the Joseph's flatbread, make a fun fold-over pizza. I like the fold-over ones. Having that marinara in the pantry, having the Trader Joe's light mozzarella in the refrigerated, it's always good. Canned mushrooms, turkey pepperoni is always around for me. I know the things that I like and I try to keep them around. Sometimes it's hard because fresh stuff doesn't always last. That's why I say canned mushrooms. Cheese is pretty good. It'll last a while. But mushrooms are funny. You know, you could get frozen ones, but nothing wrong with the canned one. Open up, drain it, and put it on your pizza. Peppers and onions and turkey pepperoni last forever. So have these things ready to go for when you want something. Before you go and just easier pick up the phone and call for the takeout. Nothing wrong with regular pizza occasionally. You know I'm all for that. But if you want to make your own, it's so good. Help is the key word, because even if you plan what you're going to order or eat, you can't control everything. Maybe your host insists you try dessert or bread basket with warm, and it's right there. No biggie to those cases. Just enjoy the food and yourself, and then regroup and get back to your routine as soon as possible. There are minor bumps on a much bigger journey. These are minor bumps. They are. You can't sit there and navigate everything. You can't sit there and never have this, never have to worry about that. It's going to be around. It is. And you have to learn how to handle that. There's always going to be people trying to give you something to eat, and I don't think they do it maliciously, but there may be a few that do. But I think they just, they're eating, they want you to eat with them, because people hate to eat alone. It's kind of like drinking alone. Nobody likes to drink alone either. Just take a small one, and sometimes just putting it down. Even if you take it, you don't eat it. Take it, put it on your plate, just nibble at it. Be social. Enjoy your beverage. Enjoy your food. So it's a navigation process. It's something you can do, though. I believe in you. I believe we all can do this. If I could sit here in front of you and talk about it, and I know you can do it, because if I've done it, boys and girls, that gives you hope. Because I was a bad girl for a long time in my life. And if I could turn it around, I'm not where I need to be, but I'm so far from where I was. And that is the way. And I always keep that in my head when I get disgusted. I always remember, but where were you? You're still better. You're still better. And you can't let that get you down. I wish life was fair. I wish life was easy. I wish we could just look and go, and poof. I wish giving myself an injection would get that weight off immediately, but it doesn't. We have to work hard at it, and food is hard. Food is good. Food is comfort. Food is joy. Food is happiness. Food is everything. And put that in perspective. Always remember that. Don't sit there and give food its due, because it's very important. We have to keep it in perspective. We have to keep it to the fact that I am in control. I decide what goes in my body, and I don't decide what goes in my body. Food is not going to rule me. I rule food. I say when. It's like Pretty Woman. I say when, I say where. I say what food goes in, and I say what food doesn't. So we have to keep that muscle of discipline and control. We have to exercise it. It's a muscle. I didn't exercise for a long time, but I am getting better all the time. I always say I'm always going to be that girl that needs to track. Proof positive. I am. Because I'm always going to be that girl that goes for that little bit more. And every once in a while is not bad, but when it's consistent a little bit more, yeah, that could add up. But I am back on track. I hope to have a stellar week this week. I'm trying a new exercise routine. I talked about it last week. I haven't really gotten into it yet. Timmy being home, I've not had any time, but hopefully next week I will talk more about the app I'm trying. I tried it a couple weeks ago, and I decided I was enjoying it, and why didn't I just buy it then? Yeah, so I decided to do, like I said, they didn't reach out to me or anything. This is just me trying something new that I purchased, and I just thought I would share it with you. But we need to do it in order for me to share it, right? See, work in progress. See, I never sit here and pretend to have all the answers, because I don't. I just try to share what I think has helped me. I think it has, and what might help you. But my one thing I want to leave you with here is you need to finagle this. You have to do this. I wish I could sit there and do it for everybody. All right, where are you going for dinner? You should eat this, this, and this. Here you go. No, you have to look at that, and you have to figure out what you can eat. And make sure you like it. Don't order it because this was the lowest, because most menus today have the calorie count on there. It doesn't help you with Weight Watchers, but if you're a calorie counter, it does. And that helped me last week for knowing what I could fit in, because some of those calorie things are ridiculous. Food in restaurants? Oh, for a salad? That's the thing that blew me away. This is a salad. So don't always think salad is your best option, because it isn't always. And that's something I learned, a few years ago, that salad, just because it's a salad, doesn't make it a great option. The dressing, the cheese, little crunchy bits in there, you'd be surprised. I always try to justify, but still salad. But yeah, but it's nice that the menu has that on there. So at least you could generalize, if it's 500 calories, it's not a bad option. You know, if I was doing points and not counting calories, I would probably get an entree that costs between 5 and 700 calories. That's where I would stand for that meal if I was going out. Because I figure what I ate might have been 0 points, but I know there was calories involved, so I can't really say I have all these calories, because you don't. And if you don't know how many calories you eat in a day, then it's just, you know, and there's usually a dessert involved in my meal. Usually. And I've been really good with splitting, like, especially if I say, can we split? Most people will be opt for that, because sometimes you just want a little bit of something sweet. You don't want a whole dessert. So always ask the people you're with, hey, you want to split something? And sometimes they'll be like, oh, that sounds really good. And always ask the place for 2 plates and 2 forks. So that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this week's WI meeting topic. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the topic. How was your week? How did you do? How was your holiday? Did the holiday kind of mess with you? I hope not. And if it did, new week, new set of points. You know, I don't live in the past. I only live in the present. So whatever happened last week's done. It's a new week. I can't think about what happened last week. It doesn't matter. It only happens what I do from here on out. So I hope that helps you. It only helps think what you're doing from here on out. And if you are back on track, welcome. And you get back on track as many times as you need to. If it takes you 100,000 times, that 100,001 time will be the time. Don't ever puff yourself for doing that, because if I did, I wouldn't be sitting here. So you just never know. So keep it up. Let me know how your week went. If you enjoyed this week, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Dish with D, where we are doing weight loss, healthy lifestyle support here. We have vlogs like this. We have recipes. We have fun days in the life. I have all fun things planned. So if you are apt for some fun, hit that subscribe button. Join our family here. If you are new here, welcome. Let me know if you've never commented on a video. I want you to say hi. I love when I get people I've been watching for 2 years and I never said hello. Please say hello. I'd love to get to know you, and it'd be fun. Just say hi. You know, I'm new, or I've been here for a while. I've never commented. I love hearing from you guys. So that is it for me. I will dish with you another day. Bye-bye for now.